Hey everyone, my name is Angie and welcome back to my channel, Angie Rose Nomad. Today I have my Friday Reads video for you guys. It's Friday Reads. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for Friday Reads? Because I am so ready. I hear a dog. Sorry. I think he's going away to lick his foot, which he knows he should not be doing because he has an infected toe. It's getting better though. Anyway, Friday Reads. Let's go. Actually, let's hold off. I do want to get into a little bit of story time before we start Friday Reads, just because I need to get some things off my chest. So before I begin my story time, I hope you guys have tea, because tea is going to be spilled, but I don't have tea, so I'm trusting you guys to spill it for me. So just maybe a little drop, just a little drop out of your tea. So if you've watched practically any video that I have recorded in March, I talk about my teeth and how one tooth was hurting particularly bad. I went at the very beginning of March. He fixed it, I thought. A couple of days, maybe a week later, the pain comes back, okay? Well, when I went the first time in March, I had to schedule a follow-up appointment for the beginning of April, today. My dentist is a really sweet man, but he takes forever to do a procedure that other dentists can do in one visit, and it drives me insane because by the time we get something under control, another problem has popped up that's even worse. Moral of the story, kids, is take care of your teeth when you're younger. When I was younger, I had amazing teeth, and now they're giving me problems because I was a bad kid. And don't chew ice. Lesson number 2, don't chew ice. So I went to the dentist today, and he was working on this tooth, and I thought the tooth already had a root canal in it. There was a filling in it. It fell out, and then I got a cavity, okay? So I thought that there was a root canal, and the cavity was just in the tooth. Turns out I didn't have a root canal. And when you have a cavity, most of the time, the cavity will kill the roots in your tooth. So the roots will be dead, basically. Well, my roots were not. They were all alive. And when I went to the dentist today, it was terrible, terrible pain. I was sobbing. My nails are all natural. They are my nails. I file them every week, paint them every week. That's my treat yourself moment, if you will. And I had them like this in the chair. My palms were beet red. So during this time, as I am crying, the dentist is starting to get frustrated. I hear a damn it. I hear a Jesus. And I'm like thinking that it's my fault, that he thinks it's my fault for my tooth hurting, and he's getting frustrated at me. So I was very uncomfortable, crying, had someone's hand in my mouth. I felt like I was hyperventilating. And at the end of it, the man looks at me and says, "At least we know you weren't faking." Excuse me? If I were faking, do you really think that I would have called you at 9 o'clock at night on my birthday in tears telling you my tooth was hurting? Just saying, time to find a new dentist. So needless to say, my sister and I all day have been joking, at least I'm not faking, whenever we've been talking by text. So yeah, that's something funny that's come out from the situation. Okay, the second thing, really quick before we get into the Friday Reads, I have been helping set up a Facebook page for a company, and I was asleep last night, woke up out of a dead sleep, and thought to myself, God, I have so many books to unhaul. But when I was looking at setting up this company page, I noticed a page option was to set it up as a bookshop. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Facebook page that was basically a bookshop? Not like an actual brick and mortar store and a page for that store, but a Facebook page that sold books you didn't want anymore. Because I've always thought it would be really cool to have a bookmobile, and that's something that I was seriously considering about a year ago. I was actually looking into vans that I could convert into a bookmobile. I didn't have quite enough funds or capital to back that up at the time, but I have always wanted one so badly. So I don't know. I just wanted to bounce the idea off of you guys, starting a Facebook bookshop and then eventually transferring it to a bookmobile. I don't know what I'm hoping you guys will say. I just wanted someone to talk to about it. And I feel like we get each other. If you're watching this, you care about books too. So, oh no. I have not edited yet, but it's already been 8 minutes of me rambling. Sorry. But I'm not. I needed to share. I needed to get things off my chest. This is like a confessional of sorts. You guys are the priest, and I am the repentant sinner sitting on the other side of the curtain. You can't see my face, but you can, so there's that. All right, now, finally onto the books. You guys want a sneaky peeky of the books I'm going to be talking about in this video? Whoop. I couldn't resist doing that. Okay, done. All right, so the first thing is the only book that I have finished this week, and it is The Bookshop of Yesterdays. This is by Amy Meyerson. I adored this. I thought it was so incredibly cute. So this follows the story of a girl named Miranda Brooks, who is currently living in Philadelphia with her boyfriend, where she is a history teacher. Now, history plays a huge role in this novel because many years ago, Miranda was very, very close with her uncle, and unexpectedly he left her life. They never heard from him again, and she just kind of moved on. But he would often give her puzzles and riddles and things to try and work out, and they would go on adventures together. Now, her uncle would often take her to a bookstore called Prospero Books, where he would tell her to pick a book, any book. And she developed this love of reading. So flash forward, when she is an adult living in Philly, she gets a call that says her Uncle Billy has died. Along with this, she also gets a mysterious package with a book and a postcard. So she sees this book and postcard that have shown up on her doorstep as Billy's last riddle to her. And she flies home for the funeral, where she unravels his last treasure hunt, essentially. But it's also about family and the bonds that you have by blood, as well as the bonds that you choose to make and the people that you choose to have in your life. I give this book a 4 out of 5 stars and predominantly listened to this on audiobook. And I knew I was going to enjoy it when I heard the narrator mention The Westing Game, which is one of my all-time favorite books, and I was like, yes! So also a super fun fact is that I have been debating about a tattoo for quite a while. I want to get something that is meaningful for me, and I've been thinking a lot about literature quotes because, you know, that plays a huge role in my life. And on chapter 12 of this book, there are so many amazing quotes here. So that is what I finished, and now we're going on to what I have been currently reading, and that is Death of a Gossip by M.C. Beaton. This is the first in the Hamish Macbeth series. Hamish is a detective in a small, quiet northern corner of Scotland, I believe, in the Highlands, where he really doesn't have to deal with a lot of crime. However, there is this fishing school in town that will, you know, bring guests in and teach them how to fish for trout and salmon, and one of the guests has been murdered. Now, this guest seemed to know everyone's secrets, so really no one is sad about her death, even though that sounds really bad to say. But the big guns come in to investigate, and they tell Hamish, okay, go back to your life. You know, nothing to see here. We're going to deal with this. You deal with random trivial stuff. And that kind of frustrates him. So he decides that he's going to look into this murder as well. And that's where I am in the book. I'm about halfway through. So this one sounds amazing. I know Catherine from Jane Catherine on Books really loves this author, and I decided to give it a go. Next up, I have Save Me the Plums by Ruth Rachel. I was sent this book as an advanced reader copy, and I need to get on with my review and post that because that will be the video you see on Sunday. Yeah, I am not very far in at all. I am on page 38. So maybe I need to put down Death of a Gossip for a little bit and read this one. So where I am right now is that Ruth has come from a background of freelance writing, and I think she's currently working as a restaurant critic when someone from Condé Nast approaches her and says, we want you to be the editor-in-chief at Gourmet magazine. Now, Ruth really got into Gourmet when she was a kid, but unfortunately saw it change over the years into more of a stuffy, lifted finger while drinking your tea type of magazine for the elite wealthy that only really had people cook for them. And Ruth was a free spirit, so she really didn't know how to feel about this. She initially scoffed at the idea of having to fire people and work for corporate America, but I think her mind is starting to shift and she is going to take up the position. I have dipped my toe into 2 other books, and the first is the book that was chosen by my Facebook book club, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I am barely into this one. The dwarves have arrived at Bilbo's house with Gandalf. They're singing. That's it. I think Bilbo is finally deciding to go on an adventure and kind of having second thoughts about this because hobbits don't go on adventures. They stay in their little hobbit holes in their lives of luxury. And then finally, I have The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Oh dear. Moving on, because this is the 4th time I've talked about this book. I started this on audio today on my drive to the dentist, but I could not hear it, so didn't listen to very much. I think I listened to the introduction, you guys. I think that was it. The foreword. I got through the foreword, and then I had to stop. So in this story, we follow an Andalusian shepherd boy by the name of Santiago, who is off on an adventure to find this treasure that is buried near the pyramids in Egypt. Now, along the way, he meets a gypsy woman, a man who calls himself king, and an alchemist, all of whom point him in the direction of his quest. No one knows what the treasure is or if he will be able to surmount the obstacles in his path. And on this journey to find a physical treasure, he finds the treasure within himself. On the back it says, to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. This is very short and the audiobook was 4 hours, so I predict that by this time next week I will have this one done. And there we have it, guys. Another Friday Reads video. I hope you guys had a great reading week, and let me know down in the comments below what you plan on reading next. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to become part of the tribe if you have not already. I do post new bookish videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I will see you very, very soon, hopefully with a review of Save Me the Plums. If you do not see this video on Sunday and see something else instead, that means something has gone horribly wrong, and who is it? Random House is going to send secret agents at me for not reviewing this book. Cross your fingers. Until next time, bye!